Welcome to Vintage Gaming Memories. Shall we play a game?
Hello everyone, thanks for checking out this short video. This is one of those videos that I have posted before where it's really not a vintage game or even a gaming system, nor is it a vintage electronics like a TV, radio, or clock, and it's definitely not a vintage bar light. This is more of a vintage memory of mine, and it might be one of yours too. Now how this came about was I had a flashback memory this past 4th of July. It was a little bit of the smell of the fireworks in the air, along with the U.S. flag waving, and then a black cat just happened across my path. And you're probably thinking, what am I talking about? Well, let me open this up and maybe that'll explain it. But before I do, what are the chances of this being in decent condition? The box is all scrunched up, but we'll see. All right, does this bring back any memories to any of you? This is a tin toy sparking friction wheel with the theme of the good old red, white, and blue. Now, this came out sometime in the late 60s and possibly the early 70s from Japan. I think, yep, there's the marking for Japan. It's very simple to use. Now, the only thing is, to find these days, you can find them online, but many of them either no longer work or they're pretty much broken. Like, they may actually work, but the actual true effect of this is what I'll show you in a second. It's that sparking part, which is the pretty cool part of this. Now, it is very small. I mean, here's my hand. It doesn't look too big. It looks to be about 5 inches tall and just about 2 3/4 wide, and not too deep, about maybe an inch. So not a very large toy, but again, this is a vintage toy and maybe spark some memories for you guys. The best way to show this is I'm going to turn the lights off, but before I do it, all there is to do to use this is push this plunger in. It'll spin this wheel and there'll be sparks that should show up, and the sparks will go through the colored lenses here of red and blue. You should see some pretty cool imagery. So let me go ahead and dim the lights and see how this looks. All right, it's pitch black. You can probably barely see it. Let me start this up. How's that? Let me try to do it again a little bit faster. That was pretty cool, but let's try it again now with the lights on. Just curious if you can still see the sparkling friction from the friction wheel itself. So let's see if I can get it going. I think that was a yes. Pretty cool, huh? Concept of this is very simple, and if you're not aware, I can quickly show you. So you have this pinwheel that spins when I push in this plunger, which is controlled by a spring here, and it puts it back in the upward position, and really then it pushes the plunger down. So I have to push up, and the spring will push it back down. Now, when it does that, this pinwheel spins. There are 2 strikers that are on this pinwheel that will also spin. On the other side of the striker wheel, you can see, you see that little notch there on the opposite side. One on here and one on that one right there. Well, that will actually spin quickly as you keep pushing in the plunger, and it strikes the flint that goes around the other part of this wheel that doesn't move. This is stationary. You can kind of see what it's hitting. See if I can get a close-up for you. You see it right there. That is the flint. So that is what's around the perimeter of that wheel, which gets hit with the striker as you spin it. Now, what's cool about this is you could actually spin it any direction and it'll work. The best way is to actually have it a little bit on an angle towards the back because it has more contact around the flint as it spins with the striker. Now, putting it this way, you can see it popping through the actual pinwheel, but when it spins, it will hit it once in a while, so you'll still get some sparks. You can see it there. But obviously, it's a lot better when you have it like this. Now, you can pick this up relatively cheap. I only paid $9, but I think I got lucky because this is in excellent condition. I mean, the color lenses are perfect. They're not ripped or pushed inward. The plastic is not really a problem. I mean, it's has a little bit of a scuff on here, but that's about it. The plunger works great. It does go back into position. The spring looks awesome. Doesn't look like it's been rusted out. And also the back plate here has a nice shine to it. It's definitely not warped, rusted, or corroded. So everything's great on this. For $9 plus shipping and tax, altogether was under $15. You could definitely find a bargain like this online, and there's a variety of these you can find as well. Again, this was probably from the late 60s, early 70s. Before this and after that, they had some that were probably holiday themed as well. Maybe some more Halloween themes and Christmas themes. Different characters and different designs were on the pinwheel. I don't think you'll find many of these nowadays as far as being sold as new because this toy is probably considered dangerous, perhaps with the sparks that it generates. In the past, I think we all enjoyed the sounds that this thing made, along with the smells coming from the flint every time it got struck. And then, of course, the sparks that would light up the pinwheel as it spun around each time. The word hazards, that was just not a word in our vocabulary back then. We lived life on the edge. Anyways, it's a cool toy. I think it's a great memory, at least for me. Let me know what you all think. Something that you might have owned. Maybe remember seeing this, or maybe you own one today. Comment down below and share your thoughts. I'd love to read about it. Again, this is I guess we can call it a Black Cat theme tin toy sparking friction wheel. Back from maybe circa 1960s/1970s. Well, thanks again for watching. And remember, keep those vintage memories from the past alive by living it today. Take care, everyone.